Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about like 7 things I would never do in my hair again. Number one, okay, like trigger warning, but I would never relax my hair again. I will never ever go back to relaxers, and that's not to diss anybody who does use relaxers or to shame anyone who does use relaxers, because it is your choice, your hair, it is your choice. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Your hair, your choice. Me personally, I would never go back to relaxed hair, and that's just because, again, you guys know that I like quick and efficient things. And one of the things I used to hate while relaxing my hair is that it was so thick and I could never see the back. Like I could never like really do my hair probably like I really should have been, and I probably was over processing it like hell because I could never see the back. My hair was just too thick and I used to hate it. One of the things that pushed me to go natural was that one day it was actually time for a relaxer, and I was just thinking to myself like, oh, I really don't feel like it. I really don't want to do it, and I hate every time that this time comes around and it's time for me to redo my relaxer. And then a thought just popped in my head and I was like, well, then don't do it then. However, it was a little bit like I wasn't sure because I've always had relaxers ever since I was a child. So I had never really stopped to think about like why I was doing this, especially after I was an adult. Like, why are you doing something that you hate doing, every 6 months or whatever? So I just stopped and I got like kinky twists, I think. And then like after those kinky twists, I was just like, oh my God, there's so many. Who's gonna take all this out? And I just snipped it all off. And then the rest is history. And I didn't regret it at all. I don't ever want to go back to relaxers because my hair was thick with relaxers, but it's even thicker now. I didn't like the way my hair looked. Like back then I was happy with it, but when I look at older pictures of my hair relaxed, I'm just like, wow. Like I didn't even know that my hair could be so thick and lustrous and everything else. So yes, I would never go back to relaxers. I have had dreams, nightmares, like of me just like relaxing my hair, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, we don't relax our hair. So yes, I would never go back. That's not to say for people who do get relaxers it's a bad thing, but for me, it would always stop growing here. It would just always break off, and then like I don't know if you guys remember, but like if you would like straighten your hair and like be combing your hair, you would just see like all this breakage all over your shirt. I just don't miss it. I have never seen breakage like I once had with relaxer while I've been natural. I've never seen that type of breakage ever. Like even when I bleached my hair, even when I was like doing all these crazy colors, I've never seen the type of breakage that a relaxer caused my hair. So me personally, I would never go back to it. Two, I would never leave my hair in a super dry state. So when I first went natural, I didn't know that much about natural hair because I had never been natural and I had never really dealt with my natural hair. So one of the mistakes that I used to do a lot is before I would re-moisturize my hair, I would let it get really dry. When natural hair gets very dry, it tends to matte and it tends to tangle. And that is the worst thing you can let your hair do. But as I was growing out my natural hair, I really didn't understand these concepts. And so this is a problem I would run into time and time again. So one of the things that I started doing was that I started realizing that I was getting a lot of unnecessary knots by letting that happen. And so what I started doing is I started taking note like how long my hair could go before it got into that state. And when I noted that, okay, I could go about 7.5, 8 days until like my hair would begin to really lose luster and moisture, I started washing my hair before that kind of like deadline, I guess you want to say. And I haven't had those type of issues since. So yeah, I would never ever allow my hair to get bone dry like that again. Number three kind of ties into number two. I'll never let it tangle. I went through my wash and go phases. I'm no longer a wash and go girl just because for me personally, when it comes to like low manipulation and tangling, I feel like wash and goes don't really work for me. I love them, they look gorgeous, but when you have to go back into the shower and detangle your hair, or let's say I don't feel like detangling my hair or doing anything to my hair and I just like don't want to do it at that moment. Like when you do wash and goes, you really have to be careful because you don't want to allow your hair to like tangle and mat terribly. So yeah, I'll never put it in those states again because I know like I like simplicity. I like going in the shower, running my conditioner through, having my hair pretty much already ready to detangle in style because it literally only takes me about 15 to 20 minutes, and for efficiency's sake, that matters. Number 4 is like I would never use products that it doesn't like. So I would never not listen to what my hair is telling me. Sometimes when I use certain products, no matter how much I want to like them, they just do not fit with my hair and I have to like give it away or do something with it, return it to the store if I haven't used so much of it, because I would never continue to use something that my hair didn't like just for an aesthetic or just for, you know, just for the hype of it. People, they're going more for a look, and a look is nice. I love to have looks, but I like to have the health of my hair too. For the longest of times, I tried to use certain products, especially earlier on in my hair journey, like curly hair products that my hair just did not like. You know, I found some that it did, but there were some that were like, you know, holy grails at the time that you're like, why is my hair not liking this? So yeah, now if I buy something and my hair refuses it, immediately I stop using it and it goes to the do not use list. Number 5, I would never not thoroughly detangle my hair. So you guys see that when I get in the shower, like I get in there, I get all the way to my scalp. I start at the bottoms, I work my way up, and I get to my scalp. If the brush is not touching my scalp, in my opinion, that's not thorough enough for me. So I have very thick hair and I need to get all the way in there, and that's why I use my Conair paddle brush. It is one of the best brushes for me to use in order to really thoroughly detangle my hair. Anytime I go back to re-detangle my hair, the work is pretty much done from the time before, and I just do what I have to do, decide whatever style I'm gonna be doing, and go from there. Number 6 would be I would never not trim my hair. So I think the word trim, you have to be careful with it, right? Because when I hear people say, oh, I get my hair trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks, what we need to understand is that they're most likely not actually getting their hair cut, unless of course they have like a pixie cut or a bob or something that they want like a precision line, but they're most likely not getting it cut. They're probably getting it dusted, and I think that's the difference. I remember hearing people say, oh, you should get a trim like once every 3 months or once every 6 to 8 weeks. I think they're talking about just like literally getting like the last little bit of this hair right here and trimming that every few weeks, which makes sense. I don't trim my hair that often. I trim my hair. I don't go to anyone for trims. Understand when you hear somebody say 6 to 8 weeks, think that they're probably dusting their ends. And if you don't know the difference between a trim and getting a dust, please Google it, because dusting is literally like a few inches, where I want to say like cuts and trimming is like a few centimeters, but like it's literally like unseeable to the eye. So once every few months, because I don't use heat on my hair, I really don't do anything crazy to it. I'm not bleaching it at this moment. I don't need to dust as often. I usually will dust maybe every 4 to 6 months, or when I actually straighten my hair or blow dry it out, that's when I'll dust it. Other than that, I really don't do much to my hair. Sometimes I'll dust it once a year. Sometimes I'll dust it twice a year. It just depends. But anytime I get it in a straighter texture, that's when I'll dust. I do my hair myself. I don't go to salons. I haven't been to a salon in so long. I did have a hairstylist that I really liked, but then COVID happened and I haven't seen her in a while. But I trusted her to trim my hair. She usually just dusted it and that's it. I didn't walk out with like a whole nother cut. When my hair was bleached at the ends, I did dust a whole lot more. I was doing it probably every 3 months, with me dusting the longer lengths more than the shorter length because I wanted each one to catch up. I have a longer length and I have a shorter length, and they're just like about a few inches apart. So once my hair gets a little bit longer, I'll probably do a whole chop across because I want it to be all even. It's just so much easier to honestly manage like that. Number 7 is I'll never make my hair do something that it doesn't like. So that just kind of ties in with loving your hair for what it is, for what it can do and what it won't do. I will never like make my hair go into a style that's going to drastically break it or drastically, you know, do something it doesn't like. I know with natural hair it can be frustrating. Sometimes I get frustrated with my hair because it's very thick and I just feel like, oh my gosh, sometimes I'm just like, when I'm tired of certain hairstyles and I want to do something else, it's not always easy. But we need to understand also that people with other textures, like straighter textures or different kinds of textures, they all want something from our texture. Like everybody wants something that they don't have. Always eyeing the greatness of somebody else's hair. So never get upset if you get frustrated with your hair. Me, when I get frustrated with my hair, I know it's time for a break. So I'll like straighten it, or like before the pandemic, what I would do is I would go get braids. And I haven't been to a braiding shop in I don't know how long, but I would like go get braids. I would let them braid my hair up and I would just take a break from my hair. And honestly, that's what I think it is sometimes. I'm just tired of the monotony and I just want to switch it up. There you have it, guys. Those are 7 things I would never do to my hair. If you think of some more things, put them down below and I will see you guys later. Bye.